Tonight's the night, Dexter fans, because we have episode 4 of Dexter Resurrection entitled Call Me Red. And let's just not waste any time because this is a long one. I want to break this thing down. Let's get into it. So, we open on Dexter getting ready to go to the serial killer dinner party. Harrison's at work when he gets a call saying to come collect Ryan's watch. Dexter gets in a car with Charlie while pretending to be Ron, and they go to the rendezvous place. His thumbprint almost doesn't work, but he gets lucky. And while in the lift, we see him put his hand on his heartbeat, as if feeling alive for the first time in ages, which is definitely a callback to Season 2's opener, It's Alive, in which we saw flashbacks of him doing the same thing, and him doing the same thing at the end of the episode when his body bags are revealed.
You know what that means? It means there might be a new mass murderer out there, way worse than the ice truck killer. Maybe I can finally get some peace. Isn't that great?
It's amazing.
Inside the manor, we meet a new character named Leon Prater, an eccentric venture capitalist with a love for serial killers. Whilst not being one himself, the reason for which he loves them has not been revealed just yet. He takes Dexter into a vault and shows him a Pogo the Clown suit, obviously meant to be referring to John Wayne Gacy. And they do a little flashback to the original Sin scene where Dexter imagines John Wayne Gacy telling him how to dispose a body. Again, just tying these shows even more together than they were already, which creates a nice synergy between each spin-off, which I like, and I've already established that I like that. They go further into the vault, and Dexter gets to see a bunch of old references to the original show, including Arthur Mitchell's hammer, the table in which Brian Moser died on, and his very own blood slides from Season 2, which were acquired by Prater in a gambling bet. All of this is accompanied by flashbacks, and it's an amazing scene. I absolutely adore it, and I think it's a standout, and it's going to be a favourite for fans, not just out of Resurrection, but out of all the shows. It's that good. We meet our first serial killer of the night, a woman named Mia, whose serial killer nickname is Lady Vengeance, played by Krysten Ritter. She's a sommelier by day and takes out predators by night, which captures Dexter's attention as he questions if she might have a code like him. Our next serial killer is Rapunzel, played by Erik Stonestreet, a man who better balances his family and killing than Dexter ever could. And I've got to be honest, he's just playing Cam from Modern Family here. But it kind of works, like this big, kind guy who is exactly like that, even when he's a serial killer. I can't wait to see if we'll see the mask drop during a kill at any point in the show, and that would be really cool to see, and I think it would really show off a different area of Stonestreet's acting talent for me, because I've only ever seen him play these jolly, upbeat kind of characters, even in this show, which I was not expecting, him being a serial killer, and still basically being that lovable guy from Modern Family. We next meet Neil Patrick Harris's character, but we don't get much on him before cutting to Batista, who while looking for Dexter finds out that Harrison is in New York too. We next meet Gareth, the Gemini killer, who we also don't get to find out much on right now. Dexter goes to dinner and finds out that the Canton Clubber was killed because he turned his back on the group, which we saw a few episodes earlier. He goes to grab a steak but realizes the dark passenger is vegan, and unfortunately he's going to have to stick to that, and he doesn't look too happy, as we know Dexter loves a good steak. Neil Patrick Harris's character, who we now know is called Lowell, does a show and tell on who's going to be his next victim, and Dexter decides that Lowell is going to be his next one. Batista meets with Harrison, and the needle drops that he's looking into the theory that Dexter is the Bay Harbor Butcher. He also finds out through Harrison's friend Elsa that he's a suspect for Ryan Foster's murder, and the method of disposal, being chopped up in a garbage bag, arouses Batista's suspicion, as this is incredibly similar to what he assumes to be Dexter's kill pattern by this point, so we can assume he's going to be now looking into Harrison as well. Dexter has a conversation with Mia, and they decide to meet up the next day. He gets the contact information of everyone in the group and dips, but not before expressing that he actually quite needed this, and saying things about killing that helped him, which is not something new. We saw a similar feeling of relief when he told the therapist he was a serial killer back in, I want to say, Season 1.
I tell you something that I've never told anyone before.
Okay.
I'm a serial killer. Oh, God. Oh, that feels so amazing to say out loud.
Harrison stares at Ryan Foster's watch and tries to get the ticking to stop, but he can't. So he goes to see Elsa and he tries to make a move on her, but it goes wrong and he leaves. Dexter checks up on Harrison and schedules a meeting with Lowell, presumably so he can kill him. Dexter and Mia have a little chat at her apartment, and she goes for a shower. Dexter desperately wants to join her, once again showing he can get some, but for now he has to ditch her to go meet Lowell. Dexter finally meets with Lowell, but he's too late as Lowell is already ready to kill tonight, but Dex is not ready to kill him, so he has to sprint back to get stuff. Batista meets with New York police to discuss Harrison's murder victim. As Lowe is about to capture his next victim, Dexter turns the tables and gets him in a kill room, and we see the return of the old Bloodslide trophies, which is really cool to see. Dexter admits who he is, and seems to be okay with the Bay Harbor Butcher moniker now. Seems no longer that he really hates that name. Anyway, he kills Lowe and gets rid of the body, making it clear he'll come up with a way to cover up for his disappearance so he doesn't look like a suspect. Batista and Harrison meet again, and Batista reveals he knows that Dexter is the Bay Harbor Butcher, and that he knows Harrison killed Ryan Foster. Harrison backs up his dad, though, and gets out of there, but while walking, he remembers the events of New Blood, and is about to go snitch on everything that's happened, but Dexter finally reveals himself to his son, and tells him not to. This episode is very long, but it's very warranted. We see a lot of new characters here, and I love it. It's honestly amazing. This is probably my favourite episode of the show so far, but let me know what you guys thought down below about episode 4 of Dexter Resurrection, Call Me Red. I'm going to see you next week for another episode breakdown. Goodbye.